Hello and welcome, my alligators trying the Marshmallow Challenge. It's SJB here, and we are playing Chimps Plus Plus. Chimps Plus Plus to me is, can we beat Chimps mode on an advanced map using only one single type of tower? And today what we're going to do is I'm going to try to use Dartling guns to solo through the entirety of the game. And that's a pretty big issue. First of all, we got to figure out how do we even build a Dartling gun in Chimps mode on an advanced map. SJB. The most magical letter combo in the entire world. Don't forget to use it as a creator support code if you like my videos and if you like me. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I'll be honest with you guys. My first thought is Soda. I mean, she's a good hero, and she can actually do some DDT damage later on. And if you're playing an advanced map, she'll actually level up pretty high. We could probably do some awesome work here. But unfortunately, I'm having issues with no matter what round 9. No matter what map I play on, I don't think I can do this unless maybe I can get lucky with some sort of ability here. Actually, somewhat surprisingly, we can do a Soda start on Chimps mode and still get a Dartling gun without using any money on Soda, at least right from the get-go here. So now it's Dartling gunning time. So I have to start building some Dartling guns. Now this is really tricky, because when you look at Dartling guns, you look for 5th tiers. The coolest upgrades by far are Ray of Doom, Mad, and Bloons Exclusion Zone. But spending over $60,000 on any of these guys is kind of absurd in a Chimps game, especially on an advanced map Chimps game, where you're limited to only using that tower. So then we have to look to the 4th tiers. We have to decide, is there any 4th tiers that we can actually use to our advantage here? Maybe to make us to a 4th to 5th tier. But realistically, the only good ones, I mean, they're all, like, okay. Rocket Storm is okay against Bloons. Plasma Accelerator is okay against everything. And Blue Aerodynamic System is okay against Ceramics and decent against lower-tier Moabs. But that's just okay. Where are we going to get the goodness quality here? Well, I don't frickin' know the answer to that. All I can tell you guys is right now, I think what I need is I think I need to go for a middle path Dartling gun to start. And I think I want to try to swap to a kind of an army of top path Dartling guns. And maybe, just maybe, there'll be enough to pop enough Bloons to kind of get me far enough in this game. But ideally, I would love to just get 1 Plasma Accelerator, maybe 2, even though these guys are pretty expensive at $12,000 plus previous upgrades. Maybe they'll allow me to get enough money to get something like a Mad. And if I can get a Mad on the screen, I don't want to say I can guarantee myself victory, but I think I won't have any issues. So that's my overarching plan, but we could run into some major issues here and have to possibly swap pretty much everything. Because map is a big deal here, and hero is a big deal here. Those are 2 of the major factors for us. And upsettingly, this big brick wall here on this map is going to make Dartling guns that much more difficult to use because we only get to see half of the map, or maybe a smidge more than half of the map at most. One other somewhat unfortunate thing that we're going to have to deal with here is lead popping power. Hydro Rocket Pods, the reason why I want to go for those guys in particular is because it's our lead popping power. I pretty much need to try to force this guy as fast as I possibly can. Soda can pop leads a smidge, but she's not super great, and I need to rely on her for 28 and for 30 here, so we're hoping that that's going to end up working out. And then hopefully we'll have a Hydro Rocket Pods for the rest of the game after that, 37, 38, and all that junk. But this could already be our first issue, round 30. I used the ability as fast as I possibly could on round 28, and now we're going to wait for this to come back before I can do anything, and just hope for the best. And it's looking pretty bad. Okay. Soda? Not possible. Okay, I'm also having trouble with Quincy even getting started here on another brick. There's a possible chance that Cornfield might be another option for us, but right now, even getting started in here is very, very difficult. So I have to basically buy Quincy's 2nd level using $280 of my money, which is going to keep me from getting a Dartling gun for even longer, but it'll allow me to survive round 9, which I cannot survive without using this ability. Also, I need to get this ability back before round 10. I've tried this like 10 times already. I know it sucks to talk about this, but this is how difficult it is to play advanced maps with a tower that you just can't afford. $920. It's kind of ridiculous. But anyways, round 10 should go down here. But then I was having trouble with the yellow balloons on round 11, where Quincy was just straight up missing them. On top of just missing them, he might not be able to pop the ball just because they're yellow balloons. So we go, last second ability here. Try to get it before we get round 11, if we can hit him. And we still fail. Okay. Well, Quincy's... Oh, that was close, too. Quincy's donezo in my book, dude. Can't do it. Alright, this is looking pretty spicy. So Dartling guns, the biggest problem with them is that there's no magical area to fit them in the corners here. So we are stuck putting a Dartling gun in kind of a silly spot. Up here. This is not the most horrific spot in the entire world, but it's definitely not a spot that I would pick if I could pick something else, right? So this is the way it's just gotta be. The lucky thing is we can just lock him in place for the time being, and he'll actually do an okay job popping for a little while. But the problem is, long term. We're gonna actually have to cut down cornfields, spending our hard-earned, oh my god, I almost knocked my water over, our hard-earned money here on Chimps mode. We don't get any extras, man. We're stuck with it forever. On top of that, we still have to get the lead popping power, so we still have to go for that Hydro Rocket Pod. The question is, do we want to go for it here? Do we want to just open up one of these cornfield spots and just go for it, like, over here or something like that? I don't know. I have to think about this for a little while before we get too into it. But right now, so far, after this reasonably lengthy video here, we're stuck on round 14. And we run into another major issue. I want to get my lead popping power here. And, of course, it's unaffordable. So we look to Quincy. And then we look and we see, well, round 28 is coming up, and we're not level 7 yet, which is when we finally get the exploding arrows. So on top of that, I also can't quite pop all the balloons necessary for right now without getting some extra popping power. So upsettingly, I have to go for a powerful Darts Dartling up in the front here, which will probably give us not enough money to unlock Quincy here up to level 7, which means that our lead popping power is not quite there. Maybe, you know, I could function without a powerful darts in some way by not building this guy and just kind of wasting the money on this guy, but will that even get us where we need to go? So here's a quick test for us. Quincy on round 28 can pop all the leads. The question is, can he pop them all on round 30 all by himself? And if he can't, then we've got an issue. And it looks like, you know what? If I have my ability available, I think we can pull it off. All right, let's jump back in. All right, so here we are for round 28. We have to spend an extra $2,000 on Quincy just to get lead popping power. I'm assuming if I put him on strong here, there will be enough to pop the leads if I'm able to micro with my Dartling gun. And seemingly I cannot. All right, round 28 again. This is my last try for this strategy. I can't afford the lead popping power. I'm really hoping that he just spams these guys 3 times, pops the leads, and then I got my Dartling gun in the back this time to actually clean them up instead of a different way. Question is, can we pop all the blue? Oh, I don't know why Quincy can't pop these leads. In sandbox mode it worked, but I had Monkey Knowledge activated, of course. Oh, wait. Maybe this time. Yes? Could it be? It could! Alright, so we needed to do that without using our ability, and now we will have our ability for round 30, which gives us, at the very least, a chance. Holy crap. This has been difficult so far. Alright, round 30. We're going to leave him on first again. I just want to pop these leads, and I'm going to use my ability sort of early here. Every third shot. Oh, every third shot I want to hit a lead balloon, so I might have to switch him to strong here. Okay, yeah. I need to switch him to strong and see if that'll maybe work. But this isn't horrible. It was close. All right, Quincy's on strong this time around. He should pop them lead balloons with laser. He's still popping a lot of the balloons. But actually, I think I used my ability too early. I think I actually need to wait for the balloons to sort of overwhelm me a little bit before I start using it, because we actually popped them almost too quickly. And it looks like all the leads do get popped, and all the balloons do get popped. All right. That is the first large hurdle that we have jumped over. The question is, can we make it any further? Oh boy. All right, so let's start by doing this. We're going to go for a faster barrel spin because clearly the balloons are an issue. And I want to try to go for my Hydro Rocket Pods as soon as I possibly can, because I don't think Quincy can handle lead balloons forever. We need to eventually get a Hydro Rocket Pods, and this guy's already built up, and I think he's in a good position to long-term be good if we actually get some cornfields chopped down. Our next hurdle to leap, round 35 and round 36. So I'm really trying to save my abilities for things that I know are going to be an issue, and I think round 36 would definitely be an issue. But unfortunately, round 35 is also being an issue right now. Without using that ability there, I could not pop round 35. The rainbows were just too overwhelming to us. And now round 36 is going to be another very, very large level coming up in here. And Dartling guns are not really designed to pop loads and loads of balloons, specifically when I got a bunch of cornfields in my way right now. But alright, maybe the explosions will do well against these. Whew, look at that, already getting overwhelmed. Alright, I'm calling it, round 37. I mean, yes, I could spend more money, but it's just putting me so much further away from doing anything of reasonable value. It's just not worth it. I give up. Though I never like to deny and say something is impossible, but sometimes I say that something is either so difficult or so astronomically weird or out of my strategic possibilities that I say that I can't do it. And I think that it is so ridiculously hard that it would take a lot of people trying very hard to make that happen. Dartling guns by themselves with a hero, but with a regular Chimps game, I think is going to be so unbelievably impossible that I would love to see you guys do it. Like, just straight up, I'd love to see you guys do it. But that doesn't mean that we can't adapt our strategy to make something maybe a smidge more different in a reasonable way. And there's a lot of ways to do that. We could make it Himps, for example, allowing ourselves continues. We do that a lot in a lot of our challenges here, just to make things a little bit more flowing instead of having to retry from, you know, round 99 or 98 or something like that. Like, we can make some plays happen. Or what we can do is we can give ourselves, or we could even say, you know, add monkey knowledge into the game. You know, make it him, his, hims, hers. It's whatever it is, without the M and without the C. So there's a lot of things you could take away, but I think one of the most interesting ways to change up the game to make it possibly possible, and again, this does not guarantee anything, is just change the amount of starting cash. All we're doing is, instead of saying $650, we're going to say we have $920. That allows us to start with a Dartling gun, and the only thing that really changes is our hero outlook. We can go with a non-hero start now. So now we can build any hero that we want to if we can survive long enough to make that hero happen, while also still building Dartling guns and still surviving with Dartling guns. That's not exactly as easy as it sounds, specifically because Dartling guns are not the toppest of top-tier starting towers in the game. So I want to try to do a Churchill strategy. Unfortunately, it looks like we cannot do a straight Churchill, a straight 0-0 Dartling gun into a Churchill, so we have to build him up. I think I'm going to go for a powerful darts upgrade first, because it's usually a little stronger than going for a faster darts, but I'm hoping that that's just enough. One powerful darts allows us to get to Churchill, because Churchill has to be our lead popping power. That's one of the main things that this strategy has to do. It has to give us lead popping power in time to make sure we can pop around 28 and future rounds with all the lead balloons that are coming out without ever getting a Hydro Rocket Pods at all, or at least in the early game. So that's kind of the basic plan here. Let's see if we can make it sort of unfold into a beautiful origami butterfly. So I picked this map over any other map because I like how open it is. For Dartling guns in particular, you want to have an open map with as much range as you possibly can. Plus there's kind of like a almost like a 3-tiered area to it. You can build a Dartling gun here, or over here, kind of depending on which one it is. But now I need to make sure I get my hero up in time before the end of the round, because I really think that experience might actually become important. So where do I put him? I think, unfortunately, I have to put him right here in this corner, because he's going to shoot down a straight line this way and a straight line this way. So I got to try to do that while microwaving. Boom, 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 boom. Nice and quick. Now I'm chasing, but that's okay. Churchill's now actually popping balloons, and we get it up in time. Now I'm going to put him on last. That's kind of a weird thing to do, but I think last is going to be more effective than putting him on first. But eventually I might change... You know what? Let's switch him back to first, since black balloons are actually an issue here. All right. Okay. Oh, crap. We need cam detection. Luckily, we can afford it! Oh, it's not the end of the world! Oh, it feels so good watching lead balloons actually go down with a somewhat relative ease here. Oh, my God. We've made it so much further, so much easier, without having to worry about these lead balloons. And now we got a freaking machine gun! This is awesome, dude! Oh, it feels so good to watch. Churchill, I mean, I've never been so happy to have Churchill on my team, because normally I'm not even that big of a fan of Churchill. He's usually ranked one of the lowest heroes on my best hero list, just because he is so expensive and usually out of place in a lot of situations. But in this situation, he is perfectly in place, my friends. Perfectly in place. And it's going to allow me to get a laser cannon here, which is kind of a weird tower to build in this situation. But I'm really hoping that I get an early plasma accelerator, even though it costs $12,000. If I can get that guy going, I'll be in very good shape. So also, let's go for cam detection on this guy and the faster barrel spin, just to kind of keep it going. And I got to hope that this is actually a majority of my Moab popping power as well. I don't have that much to work with on that side. A random Dartling gun, a random laser cannon, and Churchill's not bad, but he's definitely not designed to be like a Moab popper. All right, so we're microing. I am not locking in place anymore for pretty much the rest of the game here. Here's the first Moab. We do have to watch out for inaccuracies. Obviously, we can't control everything completely, but we can do our best here. We use Churchill's ability. We get most of them popped, and yeah, the mob, actually not a big deal. All right, if we can get that laser cannon, the Plasma Accelerator, we might actually be good. All right, here we go. Plasma Accelerator is officially up. This is not a guaranteed victory in any which way, shape, or form, and it's going to require a lot of micro to make this all happen, but at the very least, I feel okay. I feel like I can push this to the limit. The question is, what the heck is that limit? Because my limit that I'd like to have is buying a Mad next. That would be absolutely 100% perfect, because I talked about this at the beginning of the video, but there's really only one way to beat Chimps in an easy way, and that's to get one of these two guys. And if you get this guy, you got to worry about DDTs. If you get this guy, you don't. No mobs anymore, just pop Bloons. You get this in this combo, and you can usually take them down. So the goal for me is to get a Mad. The cheapest? No, almost the cheapest. Well, you don't have to worry about this frickin' upgrade. But Mad. 64,000 plus previous upgrades. That is a big bundle of money to afford here. And I just don't know if that's going to be possible at any point. Dang, I didn't realize this was a thing. I never knew that. It's so weird. To be honest, because I am very, very, very tight on money, and I don't think this is a terrible spot, I think this is good enough. Odds rocket pods. We're going to go for the rocket storm as well, because if that keeps us in the game, it allows us to get just that little bit further. That's what I need. So we have to rely on everything we got. Both of Churchill's abilities here, actually microing with things, using this ability on top of all that stuff. We have to use all of that to hopefully get things going in here. Okay, around 63. This is about the time that I like to start talking about the issue with saving up money in certain situations. Sometimes it goes super smooth and you get the exact amount of money you need right when you start running into major issues. But sometimes you have it happen where, you know, you're at $60,000 saved up, but then you can't beat that round. So you spend like $5,000 to get you through that round. But then the next round, you need to spend another $5,000 to get you through that round. And the next round, you need to spend another $5,000 to get you through that round. And maybe those rounds only make you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You actually go negative money. Instead of actually ever reaching your goal, you just keep on fighting against the grain and against the grain until eventually you say, I give up, I can't buy that guy, I just have to spend my money in other ways. It happens a lot to me. It happens to a lot of BTD6 players, because that's just kind of the way the game is designed. The more expensive the tower, the more advantageous it's going to be for you in the long run, in most situations. So that's where we're at right now. We got to try to save up that money without running into any major issues and still pop all these freaking Bloons. So yeah. Alright. This is where it starts to get very tricky, though. The end of the 70s and the start of the 80s. Usually, if you can make it and beat the first few rounds of the 80s, you're totally good. Because you make so much money from the 80s. But making it that far is usually the biggest issue. Some of these rounds are difficult, and this oh my god is usually fought in a way different way than you're normally used to fighting the Bloons. It can be surprisingly a terrible, terrible Bloon to deal with, or a terrible round to deal with. Ooh, round 78. Also, big chunks of ceramics. I think we might be okay with the Hydro Rocket Pods. Maybe. With the Hydro Rocket Pods. Oh, yeah. Easy, bro. We're about 15k away. I know it's a long countdown here, but this is what our strategy is all about. Can we get a Mad? If we can get a Mad, I think we can declare a victory. Hopefully. Hopefully declare a victory. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. All right, round 80. The Zoomergird. We're going to blow our missile load here. We're $5,000 away right now, so I will not afford it on round 80, but I will afford a Mad on round 81 if I want to. And the question is, if I want to, is a weird one, because you would assume Mad, baby, all freaking day. But there's actually a chance that the ceramics might end up killing us after we get a Mad. As stupid and as horrific as that sounds, super ceramics now officially exist. And now, the strategies that I was using to defend everything are no longer going to be easy. Look at these ceramics. They just tank everything! Oh my god, unbelievable. I can technically afford a Mad, but I can't actually beat the super ceramics. So I have to figure out... what do I do? So I set myself back $23,000 to go for a straight-up a Bloon error denial system. It's a big boy. I'll admit it. It's a big boy as far as Bloons are concerned, but he should be an extremely helpful ceramic destroyer, because he sends them backwards, allowing my other towers to just do more damage and keep the Bloons on the screen for longer. So clearly this guy is going to help us through the early 80s, but I need that Mad. I need that Mad if I want to pop DDTs and anything more devastating in the future here. Luckily, Churchill's still going up levels and still getting stronger, but he will not carry us forever. And this clearly is still not an easy frickin' time here, man. Holy crap! And so we sadly begin a new countdown, of which we are $13,000 away from our new MAD. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I really feel like I need to try to push for it, but I have a very strong feeling we're going to run into some issues long-term here, and I'm just going to be really upset about it all. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Will we survive? Woo. Woo. All right, that was painful, but we survived it, dude. $10,000 away. Dang, dude, this is close. This is really freaking close. We're on round 85. I am less than $2,000 away, but we got to pop some Zoomer Girds here. Luckily, we've got Churchill's ability. And I think, based on what I've seen with all my other BFB popping power, this shouldn't be that bad. And I should be able to afford it right after this round. And I think, after that, we should be good. Because this guy is not... The only problem with it is going to be less balloon popping power for me. It's like one of the only towers that actually makes it harder for you to pop certain things. We'll have less balloon popping power, even though we'll have more Moab popping power. But the good news is every single dollar after that, I can spend on not Moab popping power towers and just focus on ceramic popping power. Probably with mostly just bottom path things over here. Now, unfortunately, I can already afford a Bloon Exclusion Zone, but I don't think it's going to help me out. I really don't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at that already. Ooh! Oh my god, we survived! And we get the MAD! Alright, let's see if we can survive with the MAD now. That's a big question for us here. This helps a lot, though, and one thing I can do with my MAD is I can space the balloons out a reasonable amount. I'm not perfect with it, but he does okay against ceramics. He's obviously not designed to pop ceramics, but I can at least space things out so I'm not dealing with tons of stuff all at the same time, and I can pop them exactly when I want to as well. Again, ceramics still kind of a big deal for me, though, which is kind of goofy. Kind of goofy. I also have my MAD ability, which will be super effective against ceramics, but you only get it once per round, usually at most. So wasting those is not something I want to do unless I absolutely have to do it that way. One thing I can combine together really, really effectively is I can use my MAD to just pop the Moab layer very quickly and use this ability, which takes on ceramics surprisingly effectively with Churchill. Plus, Churchill's about to get extra damage to Fortified Blue. Ooh, crap. Ooh, crap. Fortified Bloons, which would be a huge help to me, man. Fortified Bloons are going to be a pain in the end. And now we got monies. So what are we going to do with our monies here? I was thinking bottom path Dartling guns. I was thinking just another straight-up Bloon Air Denial system. Just keep the ceramics on the screen for longer. That's all I need to do, and I will be successful. All right. All right. First DDTs. I don't think this will be a big problem. Usually one Moab missile pops a DDT, so, like, unless we're missing like crazy, missing like mad, we should be good as far as DDTs are concerned for the rest of the game. Like, even round 99, no big deal for us. It's, again, just keeping up with the total amount of balloons that we're going to have to deal with here. And/or microwing properly against that total amount of balloons that we have to deal with here. Yeah, big pain. Oh, believe it or not, this seems a little bit weird, but locking my MAD in place in a straight line down here is actually working really, really well, because he's doing a good job of kind of keeping the Moabs slowly coming out against me, while also having ceramics pop out in a reasonable way. And then when I get my ability up, I just basically use my ability. Even if they're kind of far away, it seems to be working out okay. Okay is the key word here, because I still have to micro more than I currently am. It seems like it's kind of a game of luck. Like, I mean, I'm not like the most expert microer ever, but I'm not horrible, and it just feels like no matter how good or bad I micro, it just kind of doesn't really matter too much. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, well you won this one, nothing snuck through, or you lost this one because something snuck through. I think once I get a little bit more Bloon Aerial Denial System action, that should hopefully change. But it definitely does come into play at least a little bit here. Plus, it depends a lot when I use my ability. Do I use my ability properly? Do I suck it up? Do I screw it up? Most of these abilities don't matter too much, but the MAD ability in particular is going to matter for us. Here we go. 2 Bloon Aerial Denial Systems now. And I think, honestly, for the rest of the game, all I'm probably going to end up building is those guys. I don't think I need another Plasma Accelerator because it's not very good against Super Ceramics. So, yeah. Alright, here's round 94, one of the beefiest balloon levels in the game. We're still having troubles with Super Ceramics sneaking through here. And I don't know if there's that much that I can do to out-micro that. I mean, I can try to leave the Moabs on the screen for a little bit longer. But that, I mean, there's a lot of them, dude. Just imagine what's going to happen once we get to round 98. I don't know. I'm definitely a little more afraid than I'd like to be. Alright, the one thing I have not been using well is Churchill's abilities here. And then, you know what? I got the MAD ability. Let's just throw it down. Oh, could have been a little too early there. But maybe not. Maybe we'll get lucky. Alright. Chase against the grain. Nothing really wrong with that, necessarily. It's a little goofy. But the MAD, hooking me up, helping me out, getting him taken care of. Kind of. A little bit? Yes, all right. Round 95 now. DDTs. We're getting close to the edge. Of course, the pressure is off us. We have continues available. But we could get to the point where we just can't pop the Bloons. We just can't get them done. All right. All right. I don't know. I'm really questioning on whether or not I want to go for at least one more Plasma Accelerator or not. Because I really feel like he's got 368,000 pops. These guys don't have a lot of pops. They're really just sending them backwards. But I really think I need more actual popping power. And I'm getting confused on how to get that properly. Like, do the Plasma Accelerators do enough ceramic damage, even though they don't look like it? Or what? Or what? This is going pretty reasonably well. Round 96. It's slow. It's a very slow run here, but sometimes slow is better than fast. You know, she depends on what she wants. All right. We're being a little more closely organized. Being a little more central with these Bloons right now. All right, I think I'm just going to use my ability here just because I don't want to lose to round 96. That'll get us a third Bloon Aerodynamic System if we want it. But I think what I want to do is, even though it seems goofy, I think I'm going to hold off for a little while. I want to see what kills us. And whatever kills us, I want to try to have my options available. If I spend my money now, and I just decided wrongly on a Bloon Aerodynamic System, well, I'm screwed for the rest of the game. This is what continues to allow us to do, though. They allow us to wait for an issue to arise and figure out what's the best solution to it. And sometimes there is no best solution, and there is nothing that can actually win. That's upsetting. But in most situations, you can make it happen somehow, you know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this guy in place right now. Kind of weird. Right now, since it's round 98, and I believe this is what's going to kill us, I'm going to go for Bloon Aerodynamic System. Maybe I shouldn't have, though. I don't know. I just have a very strong feeling if something's going to kill us, it's going to be around 98. Oh, look at this. One frickin'... Oh, we got it, actually. All right, Mad, kind of early here. Let's just blow Churchill's load as well. Oh my gods, and things are kind of done already, but there's just going to be too many Bloons for us. So I got to start popping them a little bit quick. So I'm going to lock him in place for now. I'm going to try to get these Bloons popped a little bit quicker. Just get rid of BFBs and even maybe some Oh my God layers right from the get-go here. I'll even blow Churchill's early load here. All right, that's getting rid of a lot of them. Because the overwhelm is going to be real, you know? So here we go. We're going to go for that Mad ability. Oh, see, this is the problem. I thought I could handle those ceramics, but clearly I can't. Okay, slightly different strategy. I wasn't really using this guy to his advantage because, well, I was using him to his advantage to pop Moab class Bloons, but that's what the Mad should be for. Let's switch this to a Bloon popping combo. I'm even going to lock them in place so I can really micro properly here. And we're just going to see if this is going to be enough. The one thing that I haven't really used very effectively is Churchill's first ability. This is the first time I'm using it. And we got a second Plasma Accelerator with faster barrel spin going. Oh my gods, they're all dead already. That's good. It's very good, actually. And we get the faster barrel spin on this puppy as well. And we got one Mad ability. I think it's about time to use it. Oh, crap! I went a little too hard. Dang! This is so hard to micro with so many different Dartling guns in so many different positions. Slightly different strategy. Still going pretty well. We're going to wait on the Mad ability as long as we possibly can. We get a little bit of an overwhelm there. There's still a lot of BFPs on the screen, though. Holy crap, it's round 98 beefy. I got $10,000, but I really don't feel like I can spend it properly. You know, I'll think about it for the future, but look at this overwhelm. Reinforced ceramics. All right, 2 Plasma Accelerators instead, with a lot more micro actively on the frontest Moabs. Seems to be going pretty well. Surprisingly well. I still have my Mad ability here. I'm going to use it no matter what. I'm not trying to save it for anything. Just got to use it. And it looks like, I think 98 finally will get taken down with a double Plasma Accelerator play. Whew! Finally! That was like 10 plus tries at the very least. Now, I don't have an ability here for round 99, but again, usually DDTs are not a big deal when you got a Mad. So I'm hoping that that's just the case here. Hoping that that's just the case here. All right, it's going to be tight, but we do take it down. And now all we got is one more thing to deal with. Just a bad balloon, bro. Compared to round 98, this should be a breeze because we have the damage output. We just didn't have the ceramic popping power. We don't have that many ceramics coming out against us. And it looks like the Bad will go down with the Mad. And boom, shazoom, we finally take it down. So Chimps Plus, it took us a lot of time to get where we needed to, and it wasn't a true Chimps Plus run, but it shows you that just a tiny, tiny change in the start of the game can make the game unfold in such an unreasonably different way. It's almost ridiculous. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you press that like button for me, make sure you subscribe, and of course, have a super duper delicious day.